Hello everybody, hello and welcome to your weekly tarot messages. It's Rose here. Welcome from a very rainy Cornwall today. The rain's absolutely beating down on my window at the moment, so apologies if that gets picked up in the sound on the video, but can't be helped. So thanks for joining me. These are your weekly messages from Monday the 12th of March 2018 through to Sunday the 18th of March 2018. Hope you are all well as always. So I will just carry straight on and just see what we've got in the pot for this week. So in the elemental spread I use, the first card assignment in this spread is for spirit. So the spiritual element of our lives. And what we've got here this week is the Seven of Wands. So the first words that came to me with this card were spiritual boundaries, possible spiritual protection. So I almost feel that, I don't mean that in a scary way, but I almost get the sense with this card this week that we may just need to be aware of what we're giving out spiritually and where our energy is. So a lot of us are light workers, a lot of us are in spiritual service, a lot of us have natural gifts and talents and intuitions that kind of spill out into our day-to-day lives. And I get the sense of almost not overdoing that this week. We may have got to a stage where people now are really noticing our light and our gifts, and spiritual gifts don't even have to be things along the ilk of psychic or healing. They can be bringing joy to people and laughter and all kinds of, just raising people's vibrations. So they come in all kinds of packages. But there's something in this message I feel about protecting what we're giving out. You can see here the gentleman he's holding the kind of the stick up there, the wand, and then these are all the people that are kind of coming in. Another message that I got with this as well is because I feel a lot of us we're opening up now, energy is shifting. We might even receive an overload of spiritual messages or synchronicities, or so I feel like it's kind of being measured with our spiritual energy this week, how we put that out, what feels okay for us to give and what feels okay for us to receive, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I hope that does make sense to you. Second part of the reading, the second card, is the fire element, which is about our energy and where our energy may be. Now the first words that I got when I turned this card was rest easy. So we've got the Four of Cups here. So for some of you that might be the message with your energy, is to rest easy. So when you can get those moments of rest. I'm getting a different kind of feeling. So often with this card it's about a potential gift coming in. Are we seeing it? Are we too busy focusing on what's there already? Are we missing a gift coming in? So I'll add that in as well. But when I look at this figure in the card, I get the sense with him that he's almost, it's like he doesn't want to play. It's that almost, I almost get, I've got the folded arms, I've got the defensiveness there, and it's like I don't want to do this. So it's giving me the sense that energetically there may be certain things this week that we just don't feel like doing. So same with this, where I've got energy coming in and then keeping the boundary up. Again, I've got something coming in, but it just feels like we might not feel like doing this or feeling like we have the energy to do it. There's enough going on for me, so it's very much, and I've done a quick review of the cards already, and I feel this is going to be maybe a little bit of a theme for the week as I go through the cards. But yeah, I don't normally get that feeling with this card about him feeling, no, I'm not playing, I'm not doing that, so that's quite unusual for me, but just really noting that this week. So the third card in the spread is the air element. So this can be about our minds, it can be about communication, anything that involves the air element. And this week we have the Hierophant there. So it's interesting that he's in air, because the Hierophant can either be about us learning or us teaching. So he's very much in the teacher role. We can be in either one of these. Here are the learners and here is the teacher. So he can also be about taking certain steps up. And it's given me the impression of some of us having to almost hunker down and learn new things. So we might actually be studying this week. We might be attending groups where we're actually learning new things, but it's very head stuff rather than intuitive stuff, is the feeling that I get with that. And also another message that I got with this, what he can be about is about our belief systems. And so some of us, what we might be doing this week is mulling over in the mind some of our actual belief systems, and maybe just trying to reconcile what we might have been taught so far versus, well, what actually works for me, what actually works for me as an individual. So as I say, because this has appeared in the mind element, we might be thinking that over. We might be pondering that a little bit, pondering our journey so far, what we've learned. And again, this could be in absolutely any area. You know, if we've been hitting the books for some time or absorbing information, it's just maybe time to do a little bit of a review of that and say, right, so this bit worked for me, this bit rings true for me, but this bit doesn't. Okay, and that can be with anything that we've been learning or studying. Okay, so the fourth card is the emotional element in the spread. And like last week, we've got an actual earth there. We've got the Four of Pentacles. And I was a little bit taken aback by that last week, so I hope what was given there did make sense to you. For me, again, you see fours, like this four here, fours are a still point. So it tends to be when things are just maybe a little bit of a pause. We might be pondering what to do with our energy, which way to go. The sense I'm being given with this card is that we might have to, or have that sense of putting our feelings on hold. Not have to, we don't have to do anything, but there may be that thing of feeling like I've got to put my feelings on hold this week because I've got too much to do. I don't have time to sit there and mull things over. So again, to me, just even from the first few cards, it feels as though kind of things are coming in, or we've got things to think about, things to do. And it feels like the emotions this week, the emotional element, is almost on the back burner. So there might be things that are triggering us emotionally, or emotional elements to what we're doing, but it's almost like, no, I've got to get my practical hat on and I've got to stay with that. Another message that I did get with this was not having enough time for oneself. So sometimes I'll deliver the message in this section to connect with ourselves, be with ourselves. It just feels like we might be feeling like we haven't got that time. There's X, Y and Z to do, X, Y and Z to focus on. And maybe we're just not able, or feel that we're not able to give ourselves that time. So this can also be a bit of a switch the light on moment, as in pause for a moment. Are you giving yourself enough time for yourself? So it can also be read in that almost reverse way as well. And the next element is the earth element itself. And here we have an earth card, which is the Eight of Pentacles. Again, busy, beavering away. This can be, again, this can tie in with this learning. It can tie in with honing our skills. It can literally be, I'm having to work really hard right now. But essentially this card is about practicing maybe what we've learned, or honing our skills, or we might be getting a bit creative and making something. So again, another busy card. And the message that I got with this is trying to find the time to focus on all that needs our attention, which we might struggle with a little bit. So there's a little message in you know, kind of watch where the energy is. There might be part of us that can't feel like we can't take on anymore and we don't want to play this game anymore. Is it right to put ourselves on the back burner? I think is another message with this week. I'm also noting as well that we've got 1, 2, 3 earth element cards here. So this earth element is very practical, can be about around art, work and home life, but I'm just getting that very practical kind of sense with it, you know, about this getting on and doing things this week. And but also we need to be watching where our energy's at and our feelings are at. So the overview for this week is the Queen of Wands. Now wands, again, it's the fire element in tarot. It's our action element. It's our we're being able to do. I'm getting a bit of a mixed feeling with this. One of the messages that I feel with this card is, yes, we are capable of doing everything that we need to get done. But I almost want to reverse her, as I often do. So when she's upright, I'm feeling that real kind of power and energy from this lady. I feel this could have either been the King or the Queen of Wands this week. But I feel the reason that it's come up as the Queen is it's about remembering that nurture. Queens are about those feminine energies of nurture and healing and things like this. Yeah, we do have the power to do it all, but I just feel that we need to be mindful that we don't have to. So it's like when I was talking here earlier about, do we have to put our feelings on the back burner? So there's something in here about choices. Do we have to take on another thing out of duty? Just because we can, and just because we have the power and capability. So the reason I want to reverse her this week is that if we're not careful about where our energy is at, I feel as though all the power from this Queen is going to get drained a little bit. So even though it may not feel like we've got the time, again, I feel I want to give that message of, you know, keep this energy topped up. Keep this Queen energy topped up. And as I say, I feel it's come up as the Queen rather than the King, because this is reminding us that we need that nurture and that love, and we need to take care of ourselves, and sometimes we need to be taken care of as well. All right, so the Queen energy allows that in. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense to you all and is supportive to you as you journey through the week. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and I will see you next time. Blessings and light to you all. Thank you.